Hey guys, Travis here on day 2, week 9 of the summer split of the LCS, the final week here with Jack, who has a team that you purchased at the start of the split that seems to have been a pretty good return on investment.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that because I talked to your players earlier about sort of like this week 1 to week 9 thing. What's it been like for you sort of behind the scenes?
It's been an amazing adventure. I knew that they were going to be good, but they've done exceptionally well, really. And the transition is like when you're working with a new group of people, you're never quite sure, sort of like when you're dating someone for the first time. Sometimes the first few times you meet, they might be fantastic, but maybe they'll get terrible later on. That part never happened. They were always fantastic, always great to be working with. And it's really, I'm really happy that I made the move.
What's it been like sort of working behind the scenes to build the brand? Has it just been, oh, they go win games and then you just sort of sit at home and don't have to do anything? Or has it been a bit of work on your end too?
I wish it was that easy, but a lot of my time is trying to. I basically spend a lot of time with the sponsors trying to let them know what is it they're actually getting out of this beyond just a team that wins games and slapping a logo on the back. They need to understand that there's a huge community behind these teams, that they're going to get a lot of visibility even when they're not playing in the LCS. Yeah, it's fantastic when they're winning games in the LCS, but these guys are at home streaming when they're not practicing with, sometimes as high as 30,000 people watching them, and that visibility means a lot to these sponsors, as well as like the Twitter followers, the Facebook followers. All that stuff makes my job a lot easier. So if you guys at home want to follow my players, it definitely makes my life a lot easier and things better for my team.
Speaking of that, like whenever the team came in, there wasn't like a huge following behind most of them, if any of them, and to sort of see how far they've grown over the past 9 weeks. What's that been like for you? Sort of like, have you just seen like a massive growth in followers and fans and that kind of thing?
Yeah, in fact, when we started, me and Alex Penn actually had by far the most Twitter followers on the team, and Alex is very proud of that. Yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't last very long. After the first week and us performing really well, the players immediately passed us up, and that's just continued to grow like at an epic rate.
You can come in here. Yeah, here we go. We'll get all close.
I don't want to start hugging you again.
No, I understand. Yeah, just a little bit. No, because the last time you were with TSM, now you're with Cloud9, and you guys are winning, so it's a more comfortable space for me. Let's talk about Alex Penn, actually, because he is kind of like this leech that's living off of you and the house and the team. At least that's what I've seen. What's it been like having him as a part of the team?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of tough to put up with him. We let him in the door and just kind of like moved in, and like made it his own home. And I figured, might as well make him work for something, because you can't get rid of him. Yeah. So, he's managed to make himself, pretty valuable as sort of a surprise to everybody. I'm sure, a surprise to you. But yeah, no, honestly, he's fantastic. He's great to have around. He's an all-around great person, just to as far as a good personality, and then he really offers something to the table that you can't really get outside from many people. Essentially, his perspective on the Asian scene is it's really nice to have around.
Does he help sort of have for you? Because I know you don't actually live with the team. Is it nice having sort of this guy that's there to actually make them do stuff?
Yeah, I mean, he's, I wouldn't say he's like a taskmaster with these guys, but it's good just to have an additional set of hands to help me get things done. Because I ask a lot, or our sponsors ask for, for things to be done. And he's like an additional set of hands that can help get the things done that really help the sponsors get their word out.
Now, obviously, you're extremely biased, but I still have to ask, a lot of people are saying Cloud9's the North American hope at Worlds. Sort of from being around these guys and what you've seen, do you expect them to do extremely well there? Or, like, what are your expectations for the team going forward?
Right now, I'm more concerned about getting into Worlds. I'm not even thinking about Worlds yet. It's one game at a time. We have to focus on the next opponent. All these teams have the capability at any time to knock out anybody. So we need to focus on the next step. And so we're going to see who our first game is going to be in a few weeks here, and we'll be focusing on that.
So I did a house tour recently of the team. And one of the things that surprised me was that Sneaky's in the closet. Actually, that's where his bed is.
Yeah.
So was that for you? Like, is this like a ranking system for the value of the players? And you're like, okay, Sneaky, you get the closet, or like what determined his placement in that location of the house?
I think that is an excellent idea. It definitely wasn't some sort of punishment or anything like that, but I really like where you're going with this. And I think when we get like a bigger house someday, that we should keep the closet room as an option.
Just like have a guest room, but somebody's always in the closet.
Yeah, the whole, I don't know, the whole Harry Potter thing. I really like that.
Yeah, it motivates them to get out of there and do better. Maybe based on KDA or something like that.
That could be good.
So on the same token, like you've sort of established yourself as, in my mind, a decent businessman with over the course of 10 weeks, you've been able to bring in quite a few sponsors or whatever. So how's that like approaching these guys? Because obviously, you know, with somebody like TSM who you worked with previously, they have this sort of established brand. What's it like sort of pitching and being able to grab all these guys?
It's I kind of came into this team with the wrong impression of like how easy it might be to get sponsors, mainly because I had the perspective of being TSM's GM, and I went in with a massive social following, just outrageous number of Facebook follows, outrageous number of like Twitter and YouTube followers, and all of a sudden when I came into C9, I added up all these numbers. I'm like, these don't look quite as impressive, and so I had to really sell a lot on myself. I went to a lot of sponsors that I've had an experience with or have known me, and they put trust and faith in what I was saying when I told them that C9 is going to be the next best team in the LCS. And so a lot of it was, faith from the sponsors at first, and now as things have been, going really well and with the success, I'm starting to pick up more sponsors just based on our own merits.
All right, so sort of wrapping up the interview, and we just talking about sponsors. So maybe you might have like shout-outs, plugs, anything you want to talk about right now. Any big things happening with Cloud9?
Some really exciting news. We just signed with G Fuel. There's an energy drink that we actually powered our team today. We had kind of a rough day yesterday, and I brought in some G Fuel today, and we actually went 2-0 since we've been with G Fuel.
I see. So it's the G Fuel that's bringing out the wins now. Yeah. There we go. I love the sip. My God, the businessman. All right, well, thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations. Hope you guys are able to continue to resist the curse of patch 3.10.
Oh, I know, it's rough. Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah, exactly. This was not written by anyone in this room or this interview right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly. For everyone, this is Travis signing out here from day 2 of week 9 of the summer split of the LCS. You can check out the rest of our coverage at GameSpot.com/LCS.